Welcome to T21Mom.
Hi, friends. Welcome back to the T21Mom podcast. It's me, your friend Mary, and your host, and this is episode 149. I know, it's been a hot minute. Actually, more like a sizzling, scorching, lava hot minute, but hey, I'm back, and I've got a whole buffet of life updates, including cookie sales, of course, water fights, and so much more to share with you. So buckle up. So Ainsley is finishing school in under 2 weeks. What? This is so crazy. And we'll be heading to high school in September. Yeah, high school. I'm not sure how we got here, but here we are. And I can say that I'm emotionally unprepared and already Googling how to relieve stress. And I decided to be on the leaving committee, not graduation, because, bureaucracy and rules, and the theme is masquerade. We're not allowed to call it a graduation because they're not graduating from school. They're just leaving elementary school. So naturally, I offered to make cookies. And since the theme is masquerade, I got a masquerade mass cookie cutter, and I made over 100 cutout cookies of 4 different colors. One's actually sprayed gold. It actually turned out really cool. I've never done that before. I was really happy with it. And cupcakes. So I'm almost done all the cupcakes. And myself and a few other parents were going to be icing them on Sunday. So it's been a super, really busy time of year. It's been a little bit crazy, to say the least. And a few weeks ago, Ainsley got confirmed. It was a really beautiful evening. And when you get confirmed, you choose a name. And so I had done some Google searching. I was trying to find a good saint's name. And I could only find one female saint, Saint Margaret. She's from a small town in Italy, and she's a patron saint of people with disabilities. So I picked that name for Ainsley, and it was a really lovely evening. I would go to the catechism classes every week, and I kind of sat with the same 2 boys. And it was kind of nice just to see them all decked out. And it was a nice evening, and then we went out for a little bit of dessert after. And my brother was her sponsor. And it was great until about 4 hours later when Dennis and I found ourselves changing sheets. So at about midnight, because nothing says joyful sacrament like a stomach bug surprise. One day she had a fever, another day a super runny nose, and several days of, what is going on here? It was up and down. I had to leave work several days early, and it wasn't a fun time, but she powered through because Ainsley, she's tough as nails. And meanwhile, with everything going on, I have been in full cookie beast mode fundraising for the run-up for Down syndrome. I offer to make people a batch of cookies. They always think it's just a dozen, but it's usually 18 to about 22 really big cookies of any cookie of their choosing for a minimum donation of $25. So some people ordered cookies, and some people just donated, possibly out of the kindness of their hearts. Whatever they would like to do, I'm more than happy to bake cookies. And I did my annual farmers market fundraiser. I get a table there once a year. And every year there's a lady that comes up and says, I wait every year for this, which was really lovely. But I tell you, it absolutely poured that day. It was awful. We'd had some really good days, but it was so wet. And I thought, oh, great, I'm not going to do that great. And it it literally almost felt biblical with the amount of rain that was pouring for 5 hours. So I ended up raising $595. So I was really quite happy about that. So apparently, wet feet and soggy days equals generous cookie buyers. Many people felt that it was such a great cause. And so, of course, they wanted to donate. So that was really lovely, too. And I was so appreciative of everyone. It was really lovely. And then the next day, we did the run up. And miracle of miracles, the sun showed up. So there's a 5K walk and run and also a 1.5K walk and run. We just opt for the 1.5 kilometer walk and Ainsley walked the whole way with some protest stops, of course. And Sean, my nephew, almost won the 5K, but the guy in front of him wasn't even in the race. He was running the 1.5K, but I don't think they knew that. And he came in as Sean. And classic, my other nephew, Aiden, didn't get lost this year. He got lost one year, and I think he ended up walking 7 kilometers. So we're calling it a win. And, we had a really nice time. It was good. And I also sold my cookies at their Not for Down Syndrome. And there was actually a whole number of booths of people with Down syndrome. They're the entrepreneurs. So, I do it for Ainsley, but I had a booth there and I ended up making $412 that day. I think that's the most I've ever made at the Run Up for Down Syndrome. So over $1,000 in cookie-powered fundraising in 2 days. Ooh, I was pretty happy about it. And then came something that had been brewing in my heart for a while. I'd been thinking about this for, maybe even a year. I can't remember when I first thought of this, but I hosted what I've now called my very first T21Mom Mingler. And it was a gathering. It was like a wine and cheese for moms of kids who have the dual diagnosis, like Ainsley. I've often felt that ache when I see how different Ainsley is from kids who just have plain old Down syndrome. And it's heavy on my heart sometimes when we go out, and it's hard. And I decided I wanted to create a space where we didn't need to explain anything, just wine, cheese, and being seen. And there were 12 moms in total, including myself. And I had all of them send me a photo ahead of time of their rocking kiddo. And I printed it. I used Canva and put a nice little frame around it and their names on it. And hung it up by the wine table because obviously that's where everyone's going to end up. And I also asked them all to bring 2 to 3 stems of their favorite flowers because I wanted everyone to have a nice bouquet and a nice memory of something from everyone from the event. It was really lovely. I had bought some greenery from the farmer's market, and everyone, just had a really nice bouquet to take home. And it just really filled my cup. And my good friend Dorothy came and she brought 6 bottles of wine. I think we only went through 3, I think maybe 4. So I call that restraint. It really filled my cup and filled my heart. My 2 friends, Marcy and Christine, came and helped. They, greeted people and kept the wine flowing, and there was so much food. It was awesome. And just seeing all these mamas just talking with each other and just having a wonderful time. And I think only a few actually knew a few others. I don't think everyone knew everyone. So it was just a really amazing day. And it really filled me up. And I know for sure that there will be a next one. And then let's talk about the Boat for Hope. This is such a great event put on by Variety, and we've been going for years. And kids and families get to go on a boat ride. You go down to the yacht club, and everyone there, they donate their time and their boats. And some boats are these huge yachts, and others are smaller, but just as beautiful. And we go on a boat ride around Falls Creek. It's almost an hour, I would say. And you get to have water fights with pirates, and you get to collect some loot. I mean, come on, everything was just going just so awesome. And then we actually even saw some orcas, which was really cool. And my friend said the last time that had happened at the Boat for Hope, I think was 27 years ago. And it's not a super common sighting here, but it has been happening more frequently. But it's always very exciting when you're out on the water and you get to see those majestic whales. It was a great day. It wasn't super warm and it was a little bit overcast, but it was still so much fun. And they provide like food and stuff after, and it's great. And I know I've previously mentioned that I've been having some really challenging times with Ainsley's behaviors. And right now she's been throwing things, namely her glasses. So we decided that she wouldn't wear her glasses on the boat because I was pretty sure they would go over because she kept throwing her popper, and I eventually just took it away. And we got off the boat, and we were getting a picture with the captain. So I wanted her to have her glasses on, put them on, thinking no problem. And literally 3 steps later, she threw them into the water, and there was like a barrier, so I couldn't lean over to grab them. I saw them just sink to the bottom of the marina. And yes, last year she chucked them out the car window as we came home from the Boat for Hope. So since then, she no longer has window privileges or light. And she will never wear glasses on a boat or near the water. So thankfully I was able to easily get them replaced because I had an extra set of lenses through this weird mishap. When we got our last pair of glasses, they sent a second pair of lenses for whatever reason at no extra charge. So I just had to pay for the frames. So thank goodness for that. And as school's winding down, we're also winding down our monthly Zoom meeting. I've been part of that for, gosh, I think it's 4 or 5 years. It might have started during COVID. I honestly can't remember, but it's a great group of parents. I mean, the group has gotten smaller over the last couple of years, but every year I host a barbecue and I do a cookie buffet, and obviously, and we have an epic water fight, and it's like next level chaos. I'm talking, I think Cheryl filled something like 400 balloons or something. And it's so much fun. And at least one adult is taking it way too seriously. Spoiler, it's me. And this weekend is the Challenger baseball tournament. Ainsley plays, kind of. Sometimes, she hits the ball with, holds the bat with one arm. And, but, she's been getting into it more than in previous years. We're getting there. And it's a great event though, because it's one of those events where no one cares what your kid does or doesn't do. And that's kind of my vibe. I kind of like that. There's no judgment. You can just go and be with your kid and have fun. And then, drum roll please, we're off to Prague in July. So we did another home exchange, and we're not doing a direct home exchange, but we were able to find a place and we're going to stay there. They're going somewhere else, but we do have someone coming here from the States that are going to stay in our place for a couple of days while we're away. And why Prague? Well, because my friend lives there and I've always wanted to go visit her. Plus castles, cobblestones, and really cheap beer. It's practically a fairy tale. And Ainsley did so great last year in Paris, thanks to a social story. So we'll have to get another one made. And fangirl Amy, I bet you're up for it because the one you did last year was awesome. And now, before I wrap up, a little real talk. I love this podcast, truly, but life has really been a lot lately. Ainsley's challenges have really kept me on my toes. My aunt's health earlier this year, and just all of it. I'm dealing with a lot of trepidation and anxiety for Ainsley going into high school. I have no childcare. It's been a lot lately. So my motivation to put out episodes has been a little MIA, but I'm not saying goodbye. I still got a few episodes in the wings, and I might take a bit of a break after that. I'm not really sure. You know, my soul is so willing to do this. The schedule of doing it, it's hard and it's challenging. So I think we just have to wait and see. We're not ready to say goodbye to this. I love seeing where everyone's listening, like all over the world. Truly, it is so amazing. Usually I see a new place at least once a month, a new country that has never listened before. So it's really, really exciting to see that. But, you know, sometimes you have other priorities that you need to take care of. But I really want to thank all of you for sticking around and supporting my little podcast and for listening and, you know, for being my people. It means a lot to me. As always, keep on loving on your rocking kiddos. And remember, I love you, I appreciate you, and I see you.
You know it's not what I expected.
Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.